the Meadow Vine Reversible Cable Scarf. Hi, I'm Kristen and welcome back to my channel, Studio Knit. This Meadow Vine Reversible Cable Scarf creates a beautiful interlocking design inspired by nature. This full-size adult scarf is knitted in chunky yarn with alternating rope cable columns that display equally on both sides. So however you wear your scarf, the interwoven cable texture will be displayed. After blocking, my scarf size is 7 inches wide by 76 inches long. As always, you can find the written pattern available totally for free on my website. I also have an ad-free printable PDF of this scarf design in my Studio Knit shop. For those of you who enjoyed my reversible cable ribble tutorial last time, I thought it would be really great to give you a knitting project that you can knit up with a beautiful reversible cable design, this time in the 2x2 rib stitch. The knitting chart helps you see exactly how this scarf is constructed. It begins with columns of the 2x2 rib stitch. Every 8 stitches is a right crossing cable. To make this a little more visually interesting, we are alternating with right and left crossing cables. And then we're bringing up where the left cross cable is, which helps create that nice interlocking hugged design. If you're excited to knit this up, please like up my video. It lets me know that you'd like to see more knitting projects like this, and make sure you're subscribed to Studio Knit and never miss a stitch. Our knitting supplies: yarn, bulky weight number 5, any yarn of your choice. Mine here is Malabrigo Chunky in the color lettuce. Size 10.5 knitting needles, straight knitting needles, along with a cable needle, scissors, and a tapestry needle. We'll also be adding stitch markers. I'm simply using scraps of yarn in a slip knot. And if you'd like to block your piece, blocking mats and T-pins come in very handy. We're casting on 40 stitches onto your knitting needle. I'm simply using the long tail cast on method, very easy and basic. And once you have 40 stitches on your needle, it's time to create the setup rows. We're knitting 8 rows in the 2x2 rib stitch. So that is K2, P2, we're knitting 2 stitches and purling 2 stitches on all 8 rows. I'm also placing stitch markers every 8 stitches, and that will help us differentiate each rope cable as we're knitting it up. So once we have our setup rows done in the 2x2 rib stitch, you'll see that it is reversible already, and it is time to create our Meadow Vine cable rows. On rows 1 and 2, again, it's just the 2x2 rib stitch. And this written pattern, again, is available on my website as well as my Studio Knit shop. So here's our first cable stitch. It is the 4x4 right crossing reversible cable. And we are slipping 4 stitches purlwise and holding that cable needle to the back. Then with our main needle, we're going to knit 2 stitches. And if this is new to you, it can be a little fiddly sometimes. And you just let that yarn know who is in control. Let me get back into frame here. And we're knitting 2 stitches on to our main needle, and then bringing our yarn to the front and purling 2 stitches onto that main needle. Then from our cable needle, we're also going to knit 2 stitches and purl 2 stitches. And now we can already see that right crossing cable emerging, and we can see it on both the right and the wrong sides of our work. And continue knitting row 3 in pattern. And here is how our work looks after knitting row 3. We have 3 right crossing cables started already on both the right and the wrong sides of our work. We continue the pattern rows 4, 5, and 6. Again, it is just the 2x2 rib stitch. And then on row 7 is our 4x4 left crossing reversible cable. Now this time we begin by also slipping 4 stitches onto our cable needle purlwise, but we are holding it to the front, and that is what allows the cable to cross to the left. So we are knitting 2 stitches onto our main needle, and then purling 2 stitches from our main needle, and then taking our cable needle that is here in the front, and we are going to knit 2 stitches and purl 2 stitches. And then finishing the pattern on row 8, it's just knit 2 and purl 2. And continue repeating your rows 1 through 8. After just a few rows, you can enjoy the beautiful design as you're knitting it up. Continue knitting until your scarf measures about 67.5 inches from your cast on edge. I like to knit this really long because it is so thick. If you want to wrap it around your neck a few times, it looks so great. And then we'll stop knitting the vine cable stitch pattern after row 4 so that each edge will look identical. And we'll knit 9 rows of the 2x2 rib stitch until it's time to cast off. I'm just keeping it simple and I'm casting off in the standard way. If you'd like, you could also cast off in pattern for 2x2 ribbing. Finishing our scarf, we are cutting our yarn and weaving in our ends. For the best results, I encourage blocking your piece. It allows the Meadow vine cable texture to display beautifully, and it also helps create a more pliable scarf. If blocking is new to you, I have a link in the description of a really great tutorial. And then after your piece is dry, take it off your blocking mats and enjoy. I hope you are inspired to knit up this beautiful Meadow vine reversible cable scarf. I have lots more cable designs for you, so you may want to go check those out next. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you here next time. Bye!